everyone, welcome to card number 3. For card number 3 you've got a few bits in your kit that have already been cut for you, and I'll show you this in a little bit more detail. So the card looks like this when it's closed, but when you open it you've got a nice little aperture, and then all the details, all the design is also on the inside. So what you've got in your kit, I've got a few little extra die cuts there. You have a card base that looks like this, and I have gone ahead and already cut your DSP as well for you. So with your DSP, what you need to do is you just need to line it up to make sure that it sits perfectly over this hole in the front. What I would normally do is I would stick the DSP down and then cut the aperture, but I was mindful that not all of you might have these dies, and I do like to give you as much as possible in your kits. So we have that like that. Okay, you should have a piece of white for the inside. I've not cut that down too well, let me just cut it down. Okay, so this is your piece for inside, and if you open it up, I've done a little bit of stamping in the background. Now when I first made these cards I started to use a very vanilla, but I quickly got bored of very vanilla and went back to white. So we have Misty Moonlight as your colour for your stamping, and we're using the Pampas image, this one here. So I'm just going to stamp me a few of these, stamp one and then stamp two. So I've not re-inked my stamp. I love this image, it's so lovely. Bring your card back in and stick down your centerpiece. You will have plenty left in your kit to make a few more cards as well. So we have something that now looks like that. So you can see the aperture showing through, but obviously we want to use this. So I'm going to take some dimensionals and I'm going to put those inside. Excuse me. Now bring your aperture back in and just sit that in the gap. Pop it in place, and you now have this. Lovely. Okay, now we get to decorate the card. You've also got this little bit as well, but I haven't used that, so feel free to use that on something else. So next I'm going to use some, I think I've stamped with Pebble Path. Let's see what happens. Or is it grey granite? Let's have a look. Now you will have the right ink pad in your instructions because I would have worked it out by then. So I'm stamping the vase ink. It was grey granite. Yes. So I have that. I now need to just trim that out, which I actually am going to trim that with my scissors. Now the reason I'm trimming it with my scissors and not the die is because when you cut it with the die it cuts inside the image, and I quite like this little border of plain cardstock around the edge, so I'm going to snip mine out with my snips. It's quite a straightforward image to cut out, which is lucky. Okay, so I'm going to stick that down on the front of my card. I'm just going to put a little dimensional down there. Move it over. Like that. Okay. So next you have some little pieces to put in, and you have this beautiful palm. Now I'm just going to snip out down the centre. You don't have to do this, you can actually do it while it's all cut, but I prefer to shape mine like this. So you've got these little crease lines in it. So just fold along your crease lines, and I'm folding upwards. You can of course fold backwards and you get a different effect, just keep folding. This die is really pretty. Okay, so once you've done that, you've got a nice bit of shape to it. You're going to stick that in behind there, and you're going to stick that down. Now, you're actually going to stick that down just, if I can show you this, just inside there. I'm going to trim mine off a little bit and then put my glue at the bottom of that stem. Okay, slide it in. And you don't obviously want to stick it down to the blue because then it won't be able to lift up. And then just add in your other pieces. So again, just add your glue to the bottom of the stem. Pop that down, and then you've got this piece. That's it. So there we have that. I also have a little strip of white, and this says you always know just what to say and do, and this is going to be stamped in Pretty Peacock. Here it is. Now the strip measures 2 centimetres wide, and you just need to make sure the length is longer than your stamp. Trim it into a little angled banner, and then that's going to get stuck down over here. Pop your dimensional on. And then all we've got left to do is to stick our little gems on. Oops. 1 and then 2. Okay, and there we have it. That is card number 3, all finished. We've got a lovely little aperture. Now I would put my writing around here, or you could stick another panel on the back, but that is it. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, if you're watching back and you haven't purchased any of the video content or the kits, all my card class details go up at the beginning of each month, so do look on my website for more information for September's class very, very soon. So I will see you all over on card number 4 next. Bye for now, everyone.